Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's a really interesting point. And I think this my personal view of the market is that services procurement is big enough and complicated enough. When you look at this kind of like deliverables based SOWs, it's complex and large enough to really require a dedicated approach. And the VMS are actually pretty mature now, but they're super slick at solving the problems around those time and materials based engagements, contingent workforce. And that ties into things like freelancer management, direct sourcing, even gig work,
That's right.
because it's people and time, and they are absolutely the past masters at it. I do think the deliverable side of it is, what I would kind of regard in some ways as true SOW, or that specific type. As you say, the delineation is very important. That type of services procurement, it's big and complex enough to require a problem solving exercise on its own. But as you say, if you don't have the technology in place, that doesn't allow you to implement the process and the methodology that would then filter down. So then that affects, as you say, the procurement side of it, the sourcing side of it.
Yeah, because it's about always, right? People, process, technology.
Yeah.
So we talked about the technology component up front with the VMS and the technology that they have. We talk about the process component when we talk about it from a procurement standpoint and the training and the discipline to follow a process on truly ensuring that the engagement is deliverable based and the right service level metrics are put into place and consistency in those service level metrics as well. Like from a time perspective, what are the components that make up time? Like I envision having a drop down, right, for different levels. And maybe there's a low, medium, high complexity as it relates to that drop down. And then every, it doesn't matter what that performance metric is. There are three components that need to be a part of every performance metric. It's what's
Time.
your goal? What's your goal, right, that you have? And this is part of the cadence. So you have what's your goal? Where are you today to where your goal is at a point in time? All right. And then based on where you are today, where do you anticipate you will be at the end? Are you still going to be able to meet the goal? Are you not going to be able to meet the goal? That element has to be captured, I think, as a part of that VMS too, because it's a it's a consistent kind of evaluation of that deliverable because you're trying to have no surprises, mitigate risk as well. So this is the maturity that the VMS needs to have that I talk with my VMS about, and they're very supportive, of like being able, they recognize these are gaps. And when these nuggets are addressed, that's when we can truly get the value from a deliverable based engagement. But the last piece is people, and people is the business too. So it's the business also understanding that, hey, I truly do not have a deliverable based engagement here, and I need to go down the time and material right now. But it doesn't mean that I can't have deliverable based in the future. I just need to be able to manage the dependencies, the control. I need to be able to understand what type of performance metrics. And that's where procurement needs to guide that. And that's the maturity level that we need to build so that we can guide that business around it. Because in many cases, in a transactional component, it's just like it's there as a part of the SOW, but it's either very high level or it doesn't articulate really the right behaviors to drive the value that we're looking for.